Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, let's take a moment to thank the God of Dislikes for bringing us a little bit of mercy from the hot weather these last few days. Today it's going to be cloudy, and with it, not as hot. So that is good. Let us thank the God of Dislikes. There are a few other things I want to pray for. Let's pray that I find some peace in the ongoing situation with my dating life. What has happened is that I don't think any of these people are bad people. Let's get that out of the way. But on the way there, there's a lot of turbulences, right? And so I just want this to be done with. So, for example, what do I mean by turbulences? Right now, I got a long distance relationship going, but she lives in Taiwan. She had said a few things that made me edgy most of this weekend, and I kind of got sick. The whole weekend wasted. I couldn't focus on anything. I was planning on writing an AI, two AIs going on. One for I'm thinking about a cryptocurrency that automatically deflates itself so that you could have negative interest rates. So, for example, you could have a crypto coin that had every 138.376 days bonus points if you know why. The half of the half of the coins will disappear, and then you could issue new ones, right? And that way you could potentially have a negative interest rate. I was thinking about that, and obviously I'm still thinking about some I hope to compete in the Computer Olympiad this year because it looks like we're going to have one in Taiwan, and that could be how I introduce myself to the girl in Taiwan. But all of a sudden, we're talking, and she said a few things that were a little bit cryptic. Oh, and I won't say them on here. We'll see how it plays out. But she continued to chat with me. So that's good. And then we talked about plans to. She talked about some places we could visit in Taiwan. So roller coaster rides like that. And then there was the girl here in Phoenix, but she started talking about how her ex had hurt her, and I thought when she said it, I thought that her ex had tried to contact her this week. She said, no, that was 5 months ago. I don't know why she thought about it yesterday. I said, you know what? Maybe you saw something that reminded you of it. Let's try to move forward. And I kind of suggested, because she's been working at the same job for 5 years. I was like, you know what? You might have seen something at your place of work, and it might have reminded you of it. Let's just get it out of the way. It's done with. You'll never see him again, so that's good. But roller coaster rides like that have been tripping me up in terms of making me lose focus, lose sleep, lose my good eating habits, and I need to find some stability there. Okay, the other thing I want to pray that I don't have anything unexpected happen. The last week, I almost got into a car accident. That's part of the reason why I want to leave the Phoenix area, by the way. The drivers here are just crazy. Actually, what happened last week was I was just about to turn right when this pedestrian just darted out into the street. And I jammed the brakes and I almost got rear-ended. Now, I'm really not in the position to be fixing my car, shopping for a car right now, and I was just thinking to myself, oh my God, had I gotten rear-ended, that could have been a blow to my work performance if I'm distracted by that. It definitely would have been a blow to my dating life, right? The girl I'm dating here in Phoenix doesn't drive, right? And so it's just, you know what? A number of years ago, I got into an accident that was my doing. I was daydreaming while driving, and I rear-ended somebody. And I got out of the car and we exchanged information, and it looked she didn't look hurt at all. She was very upbeat about it and wished me well and all that. But later on, I discovered she had claimed $8,000 worth of injuries from my insurance. And so I was really upset about that. I think I might have even made a couple of videos cursing about her. But now looking back at it, even when you don't get hurt in an accident, it's a huge hurt to your work life, to your social life, and I can kind of see why somebody would feel justified in claiming $8,000. Now, not that I would condone it, but I can kind of see why, right? Um, so, uh, it makes me a little bit more cautious these days, knowing how much of an inconvenience it could cause somebody who has a busy life, right? But another reason I want to leave Phoenix, and more generally the United States, we have this such a toxic, individualistic culture. So I was at a meetup group a while ago, and our group really vibed well. And we ended up going to one of the members' homes to watch a movie, but not long after that, the entire group disintegrated, and I can kind of see why. One of the guys in that group, he made it so obvious he was after one of the girls there. I'm not interested in that girl, but he made it so obvious, and oftentimes he was very obnoxious too, very loud, and made sure the conversation always revolved around him. And if I had to describe what he was doing in one sentence, he was making sure that if he couldn't have the girl, nobody in that group could, even people who weren't interested. And long story short, because of him, nobody in the group could see each other anymore. Just a really selfish attitude. This kind of attitude would never play out in Taiwan, or definitely not in Eastern Europe, and perhaps not even in. I used to live in Wallace, Idaho. There was more of a communal attitude. Although when I first moved there, obviously I was new, but I quickly got inducted into the group, I would say, over in Wallace, Idaho. I was only there 4 months. I would say by month 2, I was kind of already inducted in there. You guys remember? So pray that I don't run into these toxic people. And pray that I get my work performance back on track again. At work, I sometimes straight up tell people, I'm going through a lot. Please make sure to give me some space. Obviously, I can't go in there and tell them about all this dating drama, but just that I'm going through a lot. And a lot of times, people don't understand. They still get in my way, and it's just weird. If I were living in Taiwan, I'd probably be more open to telling my colleagues, I'm going through dating drama, and I think it would go a whole lot better over there. Maybe it's because of my background. I am Taiwanese. But this is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.